All right, guys, what is going on, Tempo Trades? We are talking about some psychology today, and this is something that I'm seeing that is popping up more and more as new people join and try to learn my strategy. So this is about being scared to lose. And basically, trading is a crazy psychology game, man, because it's like, why do we trade, right? Financial freedom. Why do we trade? We trade to make money. But the more you care about money, is the worse you're going to do because you're going to make emotional decisions. I always say this, I say trade the chart, not the P&L, right? If the chart is not telling you to trim, stay in the trade. If the chart isn't telling you to get out, stay in the trade. And that's something that really changed for me. You know, I don't even look at my P&L mid-trade. Like, I'll see how much I can make if this area hits or whatever the case may be. But if you're trading 10 accounts, if you're trading 20 accounts, if you go over and look at all your accounts moving in real time, it's gonna freak you out and you're just gonna become emotional. All right, and the next thing I wanna talk about is, listen, man, you need to have a blind faith in your system, okay? Whether you trade my strategy, whether you trade other ICT strategies, whether you trade supply and demand, whatever, you need to have a talk with your internal self and be like, okay, am I gonna trust this strategy? Do I have the back testing and the data to be confident that this actually works and I have a chance of being successful? And if so, you just need to execute it like a robot, man. If your strategy pops up and there's a trade that fits your model, you need to take it. You can't hesitate. You can't say, oh, what if I lose? Oh my God, you know, what's gonna happen? It's like, no, man. You need to just take it like a robot and understand how probability works. If you have a 70% win rate, you should be winning 7 out of 10 trades, right? Because of variance, that could function or fluctuate a little bit, but over a long period of time, it should always be near that 70% mark. So, you know, even if you lose your first trade or you lose 2 trades, you need to understand it's like, okay, let me calm down. Let me think about this rationally. I have a 70% win rate. I just lost 2 trades. The likelihood of me losing 2 more trades in a row, if I'm following the model how it's supposed to be traded, is very, very low. So I'm gonna take the next setup I see. And that's just kind of how I got to a point, man. I was so tired of losing and I was so tired of burning money that I decided to treat trading as a mechanical business instead of an emotional hobby. The thing I wanna talk about is confluences. It's like, dude, trading is never a guarantee, right? Like, if there was a setup I knew was a guarantee, I'd full port everything I got and I'd cash out. There's always going to be a risk. There's always going to be something on the chart where it's like, oh, it could fail because of this, but I think it's going to work because of this, right? So as long as the positives are outweighing the negatives, it could be worth taking that risk. So a lot of people will come to me and they'll be like, hey, I was red today. And I'll be like, how are you red? I was green. And I called the setup out on stream. And they'd be like, you know, I just didn't like it because of this, this, and this. And it's okay if you don't like a trade that I like. We don't always have to take the same trades, but don't just constantly look and nitpick for things that could make it fail. And you're just talking yourself out of the trade, basically. You're literally trying to find reasons not to take the trade and to be scared. Again, and when you're trading, you have to have risk on the table, guys. Just think about it rationally. The people you see on Twitter making payouts, all your favorite influencers or whatever the case may be, they didn't make all that money by risking nothing. You can't just put in $20, $50 on a trade and expect to make 1,000. It's just not reasonable, right? So you have to have skin in the game. And if you wait 2 hours for your perfect setup that all the confluences are aligning and you only put 1 or 2 micros on it, how are you expecting to really make money? You need to be risking strategically. Again, I don't expect everyone out there to have the same level of confidence or conviction in the model that I do, because we've just been trading it for different times, you know? If I were to pick up a strategy for a week, I'd still be a little cautious. I'd ease my way into it, right? Whereas I've been trading it for a year. I've traded the model hundreds of times. I've made a lot of money trading the model. So I almost trust it as like a blind faith. And that's okay. You know, if you're in your first month, if you're in your first 2 months, you could take it slow, but back testing should give you confidence. Watching people like myself live trade it every single day and be successful should give you confidence. And at a certain point, you just have to trade the model. You just can't be scared. And again, with the psychological stress that comes with trading, having side income or having money coming in every month or even savings is very, very helpful, okay? If you're trading and you need trading to work, you're more prone to make emotional decisions, because if this setup doesn't pan out or I don't have a good week here, how am I gonna pay my bills? How am I gonna put food on the table, right? So again, I wouldn't quit your real job or anything like that until you could show yourself consistently. It's really good if you can work a side job and trade at the same time. That's perfect. If you can put your work schedule around trading, that's obviously ideal. And then if you can prove to yourself, right, you have 3 to 4 months of consistency, 3 to 4 months of payouts, you could be like, okay, do I want to take the leap and do I want to try this full time? Now, if you can't make the job thing work, you could also get some savings, get 6 months of savings, maybe 8 months of savings. Just be like, okay, I'm going to try this full time for 3 months, 4 months. If I see progress, I'll continue. If not, obviously going through your savings sucks, but you're not in a super, super bad place. You can go back to work and rethink your situation. And when we talk about the emotional things that people do that makes them fail as traders, again, it's just a lot of reliance on money. The more you care about money, the more you think about money and trading, the worse you're gonna do. And if you could just disconnect yourself from money, as crazy as it sounds, and just say, you know what? I don't care if I win or lose. I don't care if I make money or not. I know this strategy works. I'm gonna trade this strategy and I'm okay with the results. We'll see what happens. You're actually gonna end up doing better, man. And it's crazy to think about. And that's why a lot of people can't be successful, because you come to trading to make money and it's just psychologically, it's like a mind twist. You know what I mean? Again, once I did that, once I implemented all that, I went from losing money my first 12 to 15 months pretty consistently to then breaking even, seeing some progress. I was like, wow, these new changes I've implemented, they're actually working. And then, fast forward to now, I'm making money every month. I'm taking payouts out every month. And it just goes to show that my model and the system I have in place does work, and it's been proven. And the hard truth is, man, whatever happens with psychology or whatever happens with trading, me or anyone could tell you to do something, and no one is going to press that button for yourself but you. You have to press that button. You have to press the conviction button and just get in or out of the trade, because without that, you're never going to succeed, or you're never going to go where you want to be. You have to press that button for yourself. That is enough trading talk. We made some money today. We're going to go to the beach.